What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what just came out from Lucid and what shorts are doing. Before we get into any of that though, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is down 5.93%, 235 the low, 253 the high. Today's a very interesting day. So we did have a lot of fear in the market because of what Trump stated on Sunday about not really having that much in progress with China. So it looks as though there won't be a deal with them pretty much in the foreseeable future, but at the same time we also did have somewhat good data. So we're kind of going back to 2024 where we were really wanting now negative data, or at least in line with the forecast. So if we're continuing to get this good data, that is going to really dampen the likelihood of future rate cuts. And this is what caused, even for now, the June 18th meeting, for it to go down to 27.7% of a likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. That has gone down from 60 or 61% 1 week ago. So EV sector, very sensitive to interest rates. So at the end of the day, that's what's really influencing a lot of growth stocks. Tesla's down 2%, NIO down 0.87, Rivian is down 1.84. So Lucid is definitely lagging. And I think that there is a lot of big institutions selling Lucid today before their earnings. And one also thing that did come out, which was rather interesting, was that Lucid did get a new analyst rating. I've never really understood why analysts give ratings before earnings. It just doesn't logically make sense. But you did have Andre Shepard with Cantor Fitzgerald, who has a 43% success rating, did give a $3 hold. So he reiterated that. And at the end of the day, his real reason for this $3 price target is because of gross margins. And that's exactly something that Lucid has been not really doing the best on, I think. So that is maybe the market's taken that as a negative, but for face value, a $3 price target, given where Lucid's at, should be seen as optimistic. But you are seeing big money sell. So even over the last like 20 minutes, you have 3.41 million, 2.25, 1.02. So big money is selling Lucid. And one thing that's making a lot of today very weird is you're having shorts return currently 6.1 million shares. So I don't know if they're freeing up some room leading into tomorrow's earnings, and that way they can double down, or potentially maybe they just feel like the broader market is going to really move higher. I don't know. Let me know your general thoughts on that. But 28.32% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 3.48 million shares overall are being shorted. So definitely not good to see institutions selling leading into the earnings. So maybe they are kind of anticipating a little bit more additional volatility. And as I mentioned in my video over the weekend, the implied move for Lucid right now is 10.54. So roughly like a 25-30 cent move in either direction. So just kind of anticipate that. Based on the last several earnings though, it does look as though that about 80-85% of the time market does see Lucid's earnings as a miss, because I think in Lucid's case they are very forgiving on a lot of the key metrics like earnings per share and revenue, but they are very strict on it for its future guidance. So Lucid really needs to hit a home run, give good future guidance in order for the market to see it as a kind of a bullish thing. One thing that did come out though that Lucid put out this morning was a new strategic partnership with KAUST, and so that's that university, and so this is going to be helping with their ADAS and just grow autonomous driving. So I think that's good. I don't really know exactly how this university can help, because if you go over to their website, and this is it right here, so the KAUST University of Science and Technology, it doesn't actually show any of that like autonomous driving, EVs as the centers of excellence. So it doesn't seem to be something that they're really good at focusing on. Although in this PR, and you can kind of see this one stood out to me, storage technologies, but because you know me, I'm a big fan of ESS. I really think that Lucid dropped the ball by not really pursuing that, but there's this right here. So this collaboration also strengthens our global R&D footprint, bringing additional resources to bear in our efforts to continue as a leader in EV powertrain, battery systems, advanced materials, and software-defined vehicle platforms. So at the end of the day, this might be the precursor that Lucid does need for ESS. I know I'm a big fan of ESS, and I really want Lucid to pursue that. And I think initially when Lucid did really say, hey, we're not doing ESS, Saudi Arabia, the infrastructure wasn't there. Since then, they literally dumped billions of dollars. And so technically they have the infrastructure now for ESS. Lucid has, from what we found out, I think it was at the end of 2022, they have a prototype number 2 that they've been working on, unless there's more developments since then, but they have good technology for that. They just need to really develop on it and get it out into the market. So hopefully Lucid does pick that up sooner rather than later. But yeah, let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from all that fun stuff, so you have 1.68 million in calls today, 324,000 inputs. 53% of all the options being done today are somewhat neutral in nature. And so you have this big one right here, 908,000 between 10:05 and 10:10. And if we kind of pop this open, look at the premiums. So it's seen as neutral because it wasn't really oriented towards either the bid or the ask. It was smack dab in the center. And it looks as though they're $2.50 calls. One for June the 20th, 2025, the other one for May the 16th, 2025. So when it comes down to this, like I said, it's hard to tell whether it's bullish or bearish because we don't really know where it was. So someone is doing a 250 call, so let me know your viewpoint on that. Based on the bulls, you are seeing a consensus for it to be around that $3 range. You kind of have pockets for it to be above 450 for this week, so a lot of good kind of a push higher. And in reality, if Lucid does come out with very good future guidance, then honestly, yeah, that 450 could actually come to fruition, but it will all come down onto that. And so far we've seen like Lucid needs to talk on supply chain, the issues with the gravity, lack of gravity ramp up, and as far as I'm aware, because market did state that I think a couple weeks ago that all the studios were going to get gravities. From what I've seen from some posts on social media, that's not the case. So I think Lucid does need to really get their crap together. Market can only be forgiving for so long, but based on this, the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $2. So let me know your thoughts on that. But so far, these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So some buying, some pockets of selling, but on the dark pool, I think majority of this is truly selling. And like I brought up, so 3.4, 2.25, 1.02, so big money. Definitely unloading today with it right now at 239. It is right below this pivot point, so 241 will be a key point for it to really get over early on, maybe tomorrow, or possibly again post earnings. Just watch for that. And then 218 will be a strong support. And so yeah, aside from, I know there's a lot going on, so we got a new analyst rating, actually news from Lucid itself. We have shorts returning a significant amount. You have institutions selling a significant amount. So yeah, a lot going on. And based on this right now, that 50-day moving average, that green line is so far holding. And so that, again, could be a pretty good thing. Aside from that, though, the 100-day moving average is roughly around that 264. So it's just trading with wedge bound between those 2 points. And in reality, it's going to be Lucid's earnings tomorrow. That's going to be that deciding point that either causes it to break above that or below. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Are you buying the dip? Are you selling? What's your general thoughts on Lucid? So let me know your thoughts. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Even the day trades I put out today, all bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.